ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 107 of the MTB Podcast, presented and hosted by Worldwide Cyclery. I'm Jared.
And I'm Liam.
And I'm Jeff. In this episode, we are going to discuss my dream pedals coming to life, a few intriguing new product releases, and of course, some fantastic listener questions ranging from what tire combo you would run forever, is 27.5 going to die like 26, and would you ride with a pb&j between your butt cheeks?
All that and more coming right up.
And here's a sound effect from Jared. No, you're going to do the Talon.
No, wait, no one. Good, one more. No, that was okay.
That was
right.
much better.
Speaking of birds, I don't know why, but this came up on like my suggested videos on YouTube. There's a bald eagle nesting an egg in Big Bear, and they have a camera like
this is
it's a live
happening
stream.
right now.
It's a live stream right now. Yeah, there's a bald eagle like nesting an egg, and it's really cool.
That's cool.
Yeah,
there's one in Ojai, like near Lake Casitas, and like every time it happened, like 30 cars would be lined up, and all these older people with cameras would just sit there all day.
Well, maybe we can continue this on our new bird podcast that's releasing next week.
You're saying
Speaking of birds,
speaking of, see, that's what I did. I knew that would be a smooth transition right into our first topic.
Your first topic, which is Bird, the wheel company.
Yeah.
Wheel company, spoke company?
Well, it's still Bird spokes, but now they make wheels, so
And hubs.
and hubs.
So
they started with BERD. They started with spokes, those crazy spokes that we tested, made a YouTube video on, talked about a lot on the podcast. Mm-hmm. Then they came out with rims. Now they're coming out with hubs.
Yeah. Now they have the whole package.
Which would be called a wheel.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Jared.
So
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah.
Pretty
Bird's
cool.
new Talon Hubs, as they call them. Jared, make a Talon sound effect. The Talon Hubs incorporate a hook flange design. So instead of putting the spoke through the flange, like a typical spoke or how all the birds have in the past, then basically now have a hook, which is kind of like almost like a boat anchor, or not, like a boat dock thing?
Like a Talon?
Similar.
I mean, you could call it that.
And then the spoke just like wraps around it.
Yeah.
And just
the bird spoke does, because these are
bird
not
spoke.
usable with anything other than bird spokes.
Right.
correct. These are specifically for bird spokes made by birds.
Yeah, one of the caveats to those bird spokes, which are an amazing product, is that they were really hard to lace up to wheels because you had to modify your hub. It was just like the arduous process of lacing the spoke into the hub shell or hub flange. And now Bird solved that problem by coming out with their own hubs that you don't have to do that at all.
Yeah,
So
you don't have to modify, which is a huge deal to I think a lot of people.
it looks really nice too.
It
Like,
does,
it just
yeah.
looks
They do.
clean the way that the spoke wraps around the Talon.
Yeah. Ooh,
Maybe
nice.
that really is.
It is. I mean,
Maybe
gotta
that's
be why
how they
call it
tied
the
this all
Talon.
together. I don't know.
What's funny is like
They're probably
Onyx,
listening to this, laughing their heads off right now.
Onyx like came out with the hubs with the similar design, like I don't know, maybe a couple months back, and I was like,
I think they were in cahoots with
okay.
Bird with that.
for sure.
Yeah, because they
Yeah.
were made to also only
with
work
the
with
hook
bird
flange.
spokes. Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
and although Onyx are really rad hubs, they are pretty heavy, so it kind of counteracts the whole bird spoke and light
They're a
rim.
good bit more expensive than these two, right?
Yeah, they are. So no, those are super
But
cool.
it's just good options, right? Like if you're sold on the bird spokes, which I think pretty much all of us are, and are riding them on all of our own main bikes right now. Now there's a couple more hub options that are a little bit more optimized for the spokes.
yeah.
In my head, I'm thinking, I wonder if Industry 9 is also gonna make those, because they seem like they have a relationship. Like, their wheels came with i9 hubs, and I feel like maybe
That would be cool.
Maybe.
But then obviously that would kind of cannibalize their own hub sales. But
Yeah, they are just definitely different products. The way that the wheels feel and ride, it would be cool to do a more scientific back-to-back test using basically the same rim, but and I guess it would be cool if you had same hubs, same rim, and then you just changed out for like the Industry 9 system aluminum spokes and the bird spokes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be kind of a fun test to do.
Or just
Maybe
normal
we should do that.
spokes and those.
Yeah,
bird
might as well
spokes.
mix that in there too. Yeah, because I guess if you think about the three, you got your regular spokes, J-bend steel spokes, you got the Industry 9 system aluminum spokes, and now we've got this bird spokes as well. So it'd be kind of cool to test all those back to back with some little scientific method there. Same bike, same trail, change out minimal things. We should do that.
Perhaps
that sounds like a lot of fun.
film it and make a video.
Yeah. Who's going to change all those tires?
Not it. Get a new
We need a
mechanic.
portable
on
air
that.
compressor.
Trevor.
I guess I'll try the tires. I'm like okay with tires. I could do that.
But yeah,
Pretty
these hubs look good. I'm excited to see Bird sort of growing their product offering because they make some really good stuff.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
you have them on your new bike.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's right. The new Banshee will have those exact hubs and Bird spokes and Bird rims.
I could dig it.
All
Yep.
of that. Yeah,
Full
can't
Bird.
wait. Another new product coming out right around now is the Push Industries updated 11.6. So, man, we made a video on that shock a long time ago. Push Industries, which is just an unbelievable company that exists. It's kind of like the American version of Intend,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah,
They
absolutely.
just don't make a fork yet, like a full-on fork.
They did tease that fork like a year
They
ago.
did,
Yeah.
yeah. They were like making a comment that they were going to do that, but
Yeah.
they never did. But they updated the 11.6. Man, that was a really good shock when I tested it historically. I mean, it's I think the most expensive mountain bike shock you can buy?
Oh gosh.
I don't know with like
Yeah, God only knows these
conversions
days.
of Euro pricing of Intend and EXT and
Yeah, there's
all
a
these
lot of
kind
those
of
other ones.
Euro brands. Once you
One
convert
of
them.
one of the most
One of-
expensive
It is one
mountain
of
bike
the-
shocks in existence.
and I could probably safely say it's the most expensive made in the USA shock.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, full of adjustments, totally custom tuned to you as the rider and the bike you put it on. What did they do for the updates? Did you guys dig into this article too much?
That's a great question.
I did not. Dig
None of us
into it too
did.
much,
We all
if I'm
saw it and we're like,
honest.
"Oh, sweet." But
But
never
is
dug into
Is
it.
it still called the 11.6? Because
Yeah.
they missed a
Yeah.
big opportunity to go 11.7 or 12.6. Like
Oh.
Improved high-speed compression in mid-stroke to eliminate dead or overdamped feel.
Interesting. Yeah, I know they pretty much stuck with the same body, but primarily
That is a
updated the
hard
internals.
product to make a revision to and say it's
yeah.
better because it
Right.
was so near perfect.
But I
so
mean,
good.
it's not like if you had a previous 11.6, yeah, you probably just keep it. But like if you're just buying a new bike and buying a new shock, you're just gonna buy the updated version. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's not
definitely.
like it's
and it's just a more refined version of the old
yeah,
one.
exactly. It's not like a new version per se. It's just updated.
Yeah, I always said, I mean, those shocks, if you've got the cash and you want a absolutely beautiful USA-made shock that is tuned just for you and your bike, and you're really interested in suspension, then that's the shock.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
pretty rad.
Did
Very
you
cool.
ever? Did you put one on your?
Yeah, you rode one for a while,
Yeah.
right?
I had
Well,
one
he's
on
had a
my
few.
SB150.
Yeah, you were hooked after you rode
I
one.
kept it.
Yeah.
Right. So I ran it on my SB150, my first SB150 a few years ago. And then I sold that bike, but kept the shock and then put that on my last SB150 that I had. But yeah, that was definitely one of the best coils I've ever ran.
Did you ever have one for your Ranger?
I did have one
did,
for my
huh?
Ranger. Yeah,
Yeah.
That was pretty cool too.
Yeah, I borrowed Adam from Revels for my Ranger, and I went and raced it at an enduro race.
Remember that?
Yeah.
It's cool
pretty rad.
how Push really works very closely with all of these core mountain bike brands to develop the shock just for their frame. So like Push is really in tune with the exact suspension design, the kinematics, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, they put a lot more effort than you'd imagine into getting those shocks dialed in for those exact bikes,
Totally.
which is pretty impressive.
Absolutely.
Speaking of shocks,
Oh,
Cane Creek
that's right.
launching some new stuff. Cane Creek's kind of always been a bit of an innovator there in terms of shocks. I mean, remember the double barrel coil shock was one of the most adjustable mountain bike shocks for a long time.
Yeah.
A lot of people caught up or copied it, but then Cane Creek continued to launch new stuff. It's nice. All their stuff's pretty good.
Yeah,
New
this
coil
is the
shocks, new air shocks.
Air IL and coil IL. So I believe it's meant for like a smaller package, like your short travel bike
Yeah,
or your
inline
trail
is
bike.
IL,
Yeah.
so it doesn't have a reservoir on it.
Yeah. Which I rode the old versions on a couple bikes, and I really liked them. I think I had the IL coil on my Smuggler for a long time.
Yeah, they still claim world's most adjustable inline air and coil shocks.
Interesting.
It is they're so adjustable it's not even necessary. I don't know if you've ever played with that, but like it's kind of, I think it's sort of infinite.
Yeah.
You can just adjust
Yeah.
almost any of the adjustments into like near eternity, and it just like it obviously like how slow do you want your rebound to be, or how much compression you really need. But it's cool that it's there, and it just kind of gives you infinite adjustability, is what it seems like. But yeah, it's so far on every end of the spectrum, you'd never need that much.
Right.
But yeah, that stuff looks good. I don't know. It's nice to see.
Yeah, it
It's nice to see
seems-
more boutique brands continue to launch new good mountain bike products. So
Yeah.
I'm always happy to see that stuff.
Seems like they slimmed up kind of the eyelets and the head and the the body of the shock so it fits on more tight-fitting frame designs. So that's cool.
Yep, agreed. And least but not last, the new Crank Brothers pedals.
Oh, yeah.
And tell us about these, Jeff.
Mallet
Trail.
Right in between the Candy and the Mallet E. I've been riding the Mallet E's for, I don't know, ever since they came out. How long did those come out?
Like 2015 or something?
Yeah.
Or,
5 years ago?
So I
more
remember
than that?
I've been riding them for, since they came out also, and I'm pretty sure I got them at like Seattle 2015.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, they've been around a long time. It's a really good pedal.
Yeah.
And the Mallet Trail is basically really similar, just less sort of meat on the body. So it's lighter weight, maybe a little bit less contact on the shoe. Right in between the Candy, which the Candy to me was, I guess you could call it a trail pedal, but no one ever used that. That was like a full-on XC pedal, even though it had some bit of a platform. The Trail is perfect. It's like just a little bit, smaller and lighter than the Mallet E, but not too small and too light that it becomes an XC pedal with no platform at all. So still gives you that ability in those scary moments where if you happen to be unclipped and still on your pedal, you still have something there. And then when you're clipped in, you still have some pedal body wrapped around that spring for your shoe to grip on. And I don't know, it's sweet. I've been riding them for a couple weeks now, and I like them a lot. You ride them too, right?
Yeah.
Put them on your hardtail? What'd you put them on?
Yeah, my El Jefe.
The El Jefe.
My El Jefe. Yeah, I've been riding them for, just as long as you.
Yeah.
And I really, really enjoy them. Yeah, it's like the perfect in between. It's like the Mallet E and the Candy had a baby.
Would you say it's the Goldilocks of the Crank Brothers pedal line?
Ooh. Well, for my application, I guess.
Yeah, Goldilocks is different for every bike.
Yeah, for my hardtail, I think it's the perfect pedal. I think a Mallet E is a little
for like a
overkill
trail
and-
hardtail,
Yeah.
for a short-ish travel trail bike, like 115, 120 mile travel trail bike. It's
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah, like I like the Candy for my gravel bike. I think that's like perfect.
Yeah.
But and they say like you could run these on your gravel bike too. I think that would be.
Oh,
a
you do?
little
I'm going to
overkill.
put them on my gravel bike.
Yeah, well,
my gravel
yeah.
bike currently has Mallet E's.
say
Yeah, I know. My
gravel
gravel
bike's
bike's
a
basically a
mountain
mountain bike.
Yeah, but I think it is.
rigid mountain
It's a
bike.
very versatile pedal. Great for like anything from XC to trail, and solid. Love it. Looks cool too.
It does look really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was impressed. I thought those were the perfect pedal that I've kind of always been wanting
I like
to have
the,
from Crank Brothers.
the champagne color.
Yeah, that's nice.
Classy.
Oof.
Classy. That would look really
classy.
cool in that champagne-colored Yeti arc
I was thinking
hardtail.
the same thing.
Pinky's out.
Oh yes, champagne.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the purple ones, which really nicely match my purple accents.
Purple.
My purple wheels manufacturing bottom bracket and derailleur hanger. And my
Cool.
rainbow cassette.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Lane.
Well, listener questions. Got plenty.
Wow.
Got plenty.
Hopefully, many of these give mountain bikers some good, useful, practical knowledge, and some of them just invoke chuckles, kind of like this first one. This was the B team that asked this question.
Yeah.
Put here.
You can always count on a really solid question from the
Yeah.
B team. Mm-hmm. If you were stranded on an island with one worldwide Cyclery employee, who would you want it to be and why? I'm going to let you go first, Jeff.
Well, the problem with these kind of questions is I have 100 follow-up questions. Like,
Yeah.
how far away is the island from, like, civilization?
It's deserted.
Oh, yeah, but
You're
can
stranded.
you kayak? Is it deserted and you can kayak back to
No,
Los
you're
Angeles?
stranded.
We're not talking about Catalina here, man. We're talking about
It says in there stranded.
stranded. Like
It means
you're not getting help.
You're not
for
getting
an-
off the island.
Yeah, for an indefinite amount of time, your help is
Say at least like pretty much put yourself in survivor.
Yeah.
You got 48 days.
That's true. Like, who would you want to be in survivor mode with?
I don't know, man. I think anyone would be fine.
I'm gonna say I got an answer. I'm gonna say Pat Barbie from
Yeah.
Reno.
That's a good answer.
Yeah. I just think he's the most
He's definitely resourceful.
he's resourceful, he's
Outdoorsy.
outdoorsy, equipped to do certain stuff.
Definitely have a knife on him and a lighter.
Oh, for sure. At least that. He'll probably have a 4x4 in his back pocket. He'll just pull out, I'm going to say Pat Barbie.
That's a great answer.
I think I would pick Dom just because I've done a lot of adventuring with Dom and adventure race with Dom, and I don't know, he keeps a level head when you're in a bad situation. So that's probably what I do.
Yeah.
But if we had booze, I think I'd pick you, Joe.
Oh, thanks, man.
Then we just get drunk until we die.
I have some survival skills up my sleeve. I watched a few YouTube videos in my day. Gosh, who would I pick? I think I would pick James, because we would just have a great time. And yeah, he's a great guy to conversate with.
Converse?
Yeah, to conversate. And I'm sure he has some back pocket, like backcountry survival knowledge too. You know.
All right.
Yeah. How about this next question? If you could pick one tire combo to run forever, what would it be?
Can you change the sizes but still keep the models?
Let's say
Liam asked this one, so I don't know.
Let's say one size, but
I got it.
you could change casing.
Ooh.
DHR2 in the front from Maxxis and a dissector in the rear. I could run that on a downhill bike and survive, and I could run it on a XC bike and be okay with it.
I'm going to say DHR2 front and rear. 2.4.
Same. Yeah.
DHR2
same.
front and rear?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, that was my combo for a long time, pretty much until the Assegai came out, and I still run the DHR2 a lot, like on the shorter travel bikes where I don't want the Assegai.
you know, I will say when it comes to tire combos, that video we made about tire combos and the article, I thought that was probably one of the more valuable pieces of content we've ever made.
For sure.
It gets overshadowed by sort of the broader Maxxis tire guide or some of the other Maxxis tire videos we've made, but I think that tire combo video was really dialed in because we put it on a graph sort of saying, look, if you're going for lighter weight and faster rolling resistance on one end of the graph, and then the other end of the graph is you're not worried about rolling resistance and you kind of want something with more traction and heavier weight, and then everywhere along that line, and then specifically the combos that would make sense from one side of that to the other and anywhere in between. I thought that was a really good article and video that we did.
Have to agree with you.
Yeah.
One of the best.
Yeah.
A lot of times people ask me, they'll be like, oh, what tire combos are this? Check this video out.
Check this video.
Already answered that.
It's like, no, I just literally want you to tell me right now. Like,
I know. No,
watch the
just watch the video.
Check out the article. It comes
The other nice thing about running the same tire front and rear is you buy two new ones, you wear out the rear first, then you put the front to the rear, and you just buy one new front, and you keep that cycle going.
That's true.
Resourceful.
Great point, Liam.
Yeah.
Well done.
You don't care about that, but Jared and I are resourceful tires.
I like to donate my tires that have 80% of their life left, and then just get new ones.
I'm glad you admit it.
Oh, man. Yeah, true. All right. Why do mountain bikers love 5-panel hats so much? And when is the Kettle one coming back in stock? To answer the first part of the question, I think it just has to do with the general vibe of the hat. You know, like that it gives off.
A lot of people like 5-panel hats too.
It's the vibe.
I think it just gives off a
vibe,
vibe.
man.
Like,
It's the vibe.
that's the vibe I'm going for. It's got a 5-panel hat. There's like, you know, like a trucker hat.
What's a normal hat? 6-panel?
Like a trucker hat or like
I don't know if there is a normal
or like
hat.
a baseball
No.
cap.
That's my favorite kettle hat, by the way, if you're watching the video.
Yeah, Atlas hat.
The Atlas hat.
Yeah, we do have those ones in stock.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that hat too.
I was
But
excited when those came back.
I prefer the 5-panel. And I think it depends on your head shape.
You also
So-
like IPAs. I think those go hand in hand.
Oh, mountain biker 5-panel IPA. Gosh, I'm a meme. I'm a walking
Is there an
meme.
IPA called the 5-panel?
There should be.
Should be.
If
Probably
there isn't,
is.
there
Just
for sure
Google it.
should be. Yeah, when is the Kettle one coming back in stock? Do you know? I love that hat.
You know, it's funny. We've talked about hats a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of testers too.
There's a lot of testers. The thing, we kind of want to make a hat. We want to make a range of hats that sort of everyone likes. So we've been working on, something that's a little bit more casual, such as a 5-panel hat, something like the Atlas hat, which is like in between casual and outdoorsy. And then one that's like really more purpose-built, lightweight, super breathable, really stretchy, really packable. It's like, you could call it like a trail running hat almost, or a hiking hat, work really well for that. So we kind of want to have that whole range, like stuff that's like a little bit more makes sense for casual, something in the middle, and then something that's really just you put it on when you're trail running or hiking. And then even a sort of a safari style one with the brim. So we're working on just kind of redoing the whole hat line. I think the 5-panel one should be back in stock in, I don't know, maybe 2 months. We're aiming for summer.
Sweet.
We're aiming for summer to have like a good lineup of hats, but we'll see.
Nice. It's my favorite one.
I'm trying to make them nice.
The 5-panelers?
Yeah, I think 5-panels just like look the best on my dome.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that one is a little too shallow for my head.
That's why I like it.
Yeah.
You know?
That's a mid depth.
It is mid-depth.
There's the word.
It's not as shallow, but it's
But
not,
I
it's not
I also like
mid-depth.
really shallow like trail running hats. Like the Tillac one. I like that one. Is that how you say it? Tillac?
I think that's how you say it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tillac.
Nice.
We're going to one-up that one big time.
Ooh,
Big time. Yeah, it'd be cool. So I don't know. Talk about hats a lot.
nice. How about this one? Jeff, do people take advantage of your incredible customer service as in asking too many questions?
That's actually been asked, I think, in a Ask Jeff video before, because a lot of people have learned over the years that you can email Worldwide Cyclery and you get to talk to real mountain bikers and actually like pick their brain on, I don't know, bottom bracket fitment or fork upgrades or like you name it, literally anything.
Tire combos.
Tire combos. And they'll probably give you like really in-depth answers and not just send you a video of me telling you like I do when people ask me things on Instagram. But I don't know. I mean, I've not I've heard of anyone really like, I mean, how many questions could you realistically ask until you're just like, cool, well,
I think you'd be surprised.
I mean, is this a
yeah, you know what?
challenge?
I haven't
'Cause
like
will
been
email
digging into the
info.
inbox these days, but a lot of people do. I don't know. I mean, it's a big part of how we built our brand is like having real mountain bikers on emails and phones all day, every day, so that actual other mountain bikers looking for stuff can answer questions and help. So I don't know. That's just it's an important thing. I think that's a big part of like what makes Worldwide Cyclery what it is, and I look at it as like a big value proposition rather than a cost center. So, and it's, I mean, when you compare us to all the other competitors of ours, like we just dominate in that area. So I don't know.
Domination.
It's
No
true.
one's taken advantage of it yet.
Wow.
We'll see what happens.
'Tis the season to answer your bike questions.
Get it prepped
Yeah.
for the riding season.
That's right. Mm-hmm. Which never ends here.
Well, we're kind of
That's true. It has been wet.
we're in the most wintry winter we've ever had,
That's true.
at least in the last decade.
Unseasonably seasonable.
Just read the next question.
Yeah, you love that one too much.
I was pretty proud of that. Let's see. Would you rather ride a super racy, carbon everything, 19-pound XC hardtail or a 38-pound, 170mm travel enduro bike for the rest of your life?
My first thought is to go 38-pound travel enduro bike, and then I'm just thinking about riding that out my front door to like my local trailhead.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that'd be brutal.
You'd have to move.
But I think I'd still go, if it's one bike for the rest of my life, I go 38-pound, 170mm travel bike.
I'm going to agree. But I know Jeff couldn't possibly wrap his head around that.
I just hate these questions.
It forces you to choose. Yeah. Because you don't have to choose normally, but now in this fantasy world, you have to choose.
I think with where I currently live, I would pick the XC bike.
Yeah.
Because I think it's just more practical for all of your general rides. You can ride road on it. You could do fire roads. Like you can just ride it way more often and way more different use cases. No, you can't take it and go ride gnarly stuff or bike parks, but that's just not as often. But if I lived somewhere where I was really close to a bike park or I just really frequented bike parks in the summertime, then I would just pick the enduro bike and probably not ride it all winter or something.
Fair.
You could still pedal 38-pound, 170mm bike. Jeff.
Yeah. You would just be like,
Believe it or not, a lot of people do it.
even more beastly than you are now. Your legs would be like Danger Hole, that guy with the huge calves. Or no, he's got thighs. Yeah, big thighs.
Thighs.
Either way.
Thick thighs.
Either way. Yeah, cool. There you go. There you have it. What's worse during a ride, though? A dropper that doesn't work properly or a ghost-shifting drivetrain?
Both those suck so bad.
Combination of both
I think
those
the
is-
more valuable question would be, how do you fix a dropper that's not working properly, and how do you fix a ghost shifting drivetrain? So I'm just changing the question.
That's not fair.
I can do whatever I want.
Well, I guess it depends on the dropper.
Okay. If I'll answer the question and I'll say ghost shifting is worse because if you can't even pedal properly and not worry about the whole thing just slipping on you, that just is completely miserable. Whereas a dropper not working, whatever, you can stand up more than usual or deal with it. So that's my choice. But I think that it would be relevant to answer what to do when droppers don't work. What are the most common dropper post problems?
Well, the first thing to do is stiction, which is a combination of dry seals, so some slick honey or
SRAM buttergrease.
SRAM buttergrease, which is the same exact thing as slick honey with a different name, or the WPL
Fork Boost
lube.
Mm-hmm.
Fork Boost lube. Works really well for that too. Like you don't have to pop it off, and you can kind of just put it on the seal. Second thing is pop your seat off, add more air to the cartridge because they do leak. They're like 250 to 300 psi in a super small chamber, so it's pretty high pressure. And then once that's compressed down, it's even higher pressure. So it's a lot of pressure on those seals, and they do leak. So lube and air.
Pressure, yeah.
And then third thing is check to make sure that your dropper cable is taut but not too tight and like permanently activating your dropper post.
Correctly tensioned.
Also happens, yeah. Properly tensioned dropper post cable.
Yeah, and just remember that a dropper post is a very much so serviceable part that's in need of service at least every 20 hours, 50 hours, depending on how much mud you cake on it.
Short. I would say a minimum, like, service that thing once a year.
Yeah, unless you cake it in mud.
You're in
SoCal and you're just riding dust once a year, but if you're caking it in mud more often.
Yeah.
Or also check your torque on your C-post collar.
You could do that too.
Yeah.
Because if you're like cranking that thing, it's going to affect your...
Yeah. They've gotten much better though with that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then go shifting.
Throw your bike off the cliff and walk on it.
Light it on fire. Bent derailleur hanger is a common one for that.
That's pretty
Obviously
common.
having your derailleur cable not at the correct tension, so you need to just tune the derailleur. I don't know. Those are kind of the most two common ones for go shifting.
A sticky link or a cracked link in your chain, which will cause a jump every time it comes around. And even if you really roast your chain and cassette out way too far, it'll start ghost shifting and not shifting properly and skipping around. So check your chain wear.
That makes sense.
Any further comments, J-Brad?
Just that I think that, this would be a great time for an ad.
I nailed it.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
Hello, everyone. Jeff again. This is our quote-unquote ad. I just want to remind you, our goal with the MTB podcast is to bring mountain bikers value by giving you practical advice and knowledge from other mountain bikers who have been in the industry and riding for a really long time. We are also into this to have basically an ad-free experience. I listen to a lot of podcasts myself, and I just really don't like podcasts that are covered in ads. So you're never going to hear ads from us, ever. Unless somebody pays us an obscene amount of money, then I might sell out, but probably that's never going to happen. What you will hear is the occasional plug of, our own brands, which we own a mountain bike apparel brand that makes a bunch of other outdoor adventure apparel called Kettle Mountain. Please check that out. And most importantly, we did start a mountain bike component brand. Well, we co-founded it and we're working on it really hard. We're co-owners of it. It's called Trail One Components. Every product sold, $1 goes to a trail network. I really believe in business 2.0, businesses giving back to the industries that they serve and support. And it's also an outlet for myself, Liam, Jared, and everyone else here to really help create and craft the mountain bike parts we've always wanted in a really cool way with a super qualified engineer alongside of a cool guy, buddy of ours, Brian Kennedy, BKXC. So please check out Trail One Components, and that's it for this quote-unquote ad. Thank you.
And now, back to the show. And we're on.
And we are back.
Ooh. Well, this is an interesting question. Jeff, if you had to have a job that's not in the bike industry, what would it be?
Not in the bike industry.
You thought it was in the bike industry?
I don't know.
We are in the bike industry.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought that's what it said.
Shocker,
I was like,
Jeff.
I was like, I have the one I want, but then I realized it said not. So I should have read this question first.
Now you have
so
to
I'd
think
have a
about
better
it for
answer.
a while. We can have Liam first.
Honestly, I would probably be in the technology space, and probably, I don't know, maybe I would like to start and run a SaaS company. That's SaaS, software as a service, for those of you that didn't know. By the way, if any of you listeners out there know an excellent freelance Shopify developer, we're really in need. That's actually not a joke. It's a serious ask.
That is really funny because I am a freelance Shopify developer.
That's what you'd want to do if you were in the bike industry. I don't know, man. I'd be in the technology industry or I don't know, start a company in the tech space probably.
That's a great idea, and I think I would for sure be in the tech industry as well, and hopefully get a gig with an exorbitant amount of money.
Are you just making this up for the money?
Of course I'm making it up for the money. If I can't have the lifestyle, I want to make the money to have the lifestyle.
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know. I would also, I think it would be fun to be a starving artist failing wannabe actor in Hollywood.
Oh, that would be cool.
I could do that.
We could be neighbors with Louie.
Yeah, Louie. Lou Dog lives in Hollywood.
Our DJ Mixer, that was kind of a burn to him.
It was not a burn. It was a compliment.
He just lives in Hollywood. So,
well, I mean, it's a pretty sick place to live. I mean, especially in that, whatever.
You know what I'd also like to do, which, I mean, this is like a job you're qualified and could achieve, or a job like a job you're dreaming of. I would like to be like on the board of Disney or something.
Oh yeah,
C-level executive.
You would
Disney.
love that.
That'd be cool.
I love Disney, man.
Yeah,
I would like to be the head of theme parks for the Disney Corporation.
What about, remember?
If you're hiring, I'll just quit this.
Yeah, you just work on your LinkedIn a little bit, and you could make that job probably right now.
Remember when we asked a question in one of the meetings? I was like, if you had, you're independently wealthy and you didn't have to work, what would you do with your money? And you said something like,
I would live at Disneyland or something.
Like start another company or something.
He would start like a Airbnb for like teeny Hobbit homes or something like that. Some ridiculous thing.
You could still do that as a side
I've always
hustle.
got an answer that will perplex you.
Well, I would go two routes. If I wanted to just have a nice, chill life, I would go back to doing pools. It's really cool, especially in this area. Just work on mansions, I mean, not our houses, but, around us, there's big houses in LA and stuff. I had another one. Oh, or I'd probably go into real estate. And just buy and sling houses, Airbnb
boring.
stuff. Yeah, but I could do that anywhere in the world, and just like that's what I would want to do. I would want to work from a computer by like managing Airbnbs and setting stuff up, and like live all around the world and just travel.
Yeah.
Okay, well, managing Airbnbs and being a digital nomad is not going into real estate.
Okay, I take back my answer.
I would own the I would own the Airbnbs.
I know.
Yeah.
I get that, but that's like a
I didn't say real estate broker.
Yeah, I know, but when you say going into real estate, it means you're going to be some type of real estate agent or broker.
You want to be a
I'll
real
do that
estate
too.
investor.
Yeah.
Yeah, me
estate
too. I want to do
modern.
Me and
real
Liam and I,
estate.
we're going to be real
you're
estate
gonna own the
investors.
Airbnbs.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. I actually would love to also like, I don't know, have some sort of, incorporate bikes into it, like own a, I don't know, like
You can't
almost
have
like
bike
a,
You can't have bikes.
well, it's not in the bike industry, but it caters to bike people. Like, what's it, like Vale Lake down in Temecula? It's like a
like
campground
little-
with a bike park and like all that stuff. Like,
Yeah.
it'd be pretty cool to own something like that.
But that's still in the bike industry.
Nope, it's a hospitality industry.
Yeah, own Airbnbs and rent and vacation rentals at ski resorts that are also really prominent bike resorts in the summer.
Exactly.
And
cool. Like
because
bike themed, yeah.
I would be traveling so much, I would take photographs everywhere, and then I'd sell my photographs as more income.
Yes, we're giving everybody our ideas.
Go ahead and take them.
Yeah.
I have a fine job right now. I love what I do.
I'm just kidding. But seriously, you have a week off to ride anywhere in the U.S. Where would you go?
I think we're all going to have the same answer. What's yours?
Colorado.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess you just chose a whole state, though.
Okay. Well, I don't want to.
Where in Colorado?
All right. I
name
think
a city.
that Crested Butte. I would spend
You got
some
7
time
days,
there.
though.
Well, I don't have to spend it all in one place in Colorado, do I?
That's what I'm saying. So give us the logistics. Break it down real quick.
Man. Well,
Because we have done a lot of riding in Colorado.
Yeah. I think I'd probably still pick Crested Butte because I think we like just scratched the surface there. Man. Yeah, I don't know. That's what I came up with because I also just really like it there. Yeah.
All right. Well, what's your answer?
Well, I'm going to pick somewhere where I haven't been yet, and I need to. I'm going to go with like Bellingham and down to like Issaquah and kind of that whole like surrounding Seattle area for me.
It's a good answer.
Yeah, July, August, ideally.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll try to get there in August this year. Go hang out in Troyden.
Well, now I think I know what you're going to say.
Whistler.
That's not the US.
Anyway,
Stop skimming, bro.
I didn't read the question.
That's the second one in a row.
I thought you were just going
what?
to say Breckenridge because that's what we did last year.
You're pouring these drinks too strong.
You
Jared.
poured that one.
I did. And I told you I wasn't going to have a second.
If I told you I didn't measure the first one, would you believe me?
Yes, if anywhere in North America, of course I'd go to like Squamish or Whistler. Duh.
U.S., baby.
But U.S., there's a border right there. And you gotta stay south of it.
Yeah, I really should pay attention to the questions.
Yeah, you should have. And it's also right there in front of you. Yeah. This really changes things up for you not done it.
He's all confident, just like
Yeah.
letting us
Oh,
go.
yeah.
Yeah, no problem.
We're all going to pick the same
We're
thing.
gonna pick the same place.
Breckenridge.
Breckenridge.
I knew he was going to pick it.
Oh, we
love
we
Breck.
were there
I know, I
last
love
summer
Breck.
for
Breck.
It's
what,
amazing.
a week we were there, or 2
I
weeks.
know.
That was so fun.
Yeah.
There was so many good mountain bike trails. And more important, so I don't just think only trails, but I think holistically.
Town,
and
True.
The
location,
town of Breckenridge
logistics.
was awesome.
Yeah.
It's not that far outside of Denver. And yeah, the town was awesome in terms of food, nightlife, all that sort of stuff. And the trails were awesome. So yeah, I'd pick Breckenridge.
And in addition to what you just said, compared to Crested Butte, we rode every single day from our condo.
Yeah.
Crested Butte, you had to take
Yeah, we were driving all over the
20 to
place.
40
And the town
minute
was
drive.
tiny.
That's true.
It wasn't like
Logistically, it would
We
be
will-
hard.
Let's give it a little caveat because we were there.
That's true.
Peak COVID.
Well, 2021 we were there.
Okay, so
Summer
but-
21. Yeah,
but
pretty
ending
much,
of
pretty
COVID,
close.
like yeah.
It was all
So,
messed up because of
yeah.
that. Yeah, so we didn't get the full Crested Butte. We
But
got the full.
you still had to
Breckenridge.
drive
It was
everywhere.
rad.
Breck was amazing.
Breck was
And
really
I was
rad.
right there. I was like,
It didn't feel pretentious. It didn't feel
Yeah.
as if it was full of mansions. Which Crested Butte was a little,
Yeah,
a little
it
bougie.
it had a bit
for
more
us mountain bikers.
more money.
well, there's just like
Breckenridge
that
was cool, man.
contentious nature in Crested Butte with like between the natives and like the people who had the second
Yeah.
and third homes, which are like
Yeah.
actually recently watched a Vice documentary on that, like, and it was like from 2021 or whatever. And the housing crisis there is real, and like,
Yeah,
I don't know, it's a bummer, but yeah, long story. I mean, I'd rather tangent aside, I think I'd still rather go there.
Yeah, I mean the riding in Crested Butte and
It was phenomenal.
it's just beautiful.
Yeah.
like the scenery is just astonishing.
I do like how isolated you feel when you're there. It's like,
Yeah, that's true.
you feel like you're really out there. Same with Breck.
Yeah, but I don't know, Breck, because you can just I
was
want to get
nice.
into some trouble, like some big trouble. Let me just drive a couple hours into Denver, or
Yeah.
3 hours, whatever it is. It's not that bad.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
a tough one.
I really liked Breck. I thought it was the perfect size. It wasn't too big, but it wasn't too small.
Yeah,
And a ton of awesome trails that were so well built. That was amazing.
true.
All right, what song are you playing to pump yourself up to send it?
I really want to hear Jeff's answer to
Yeah,
this
me too.
question.
We'll leave some build up.
Hold on.
I'll
Jeff,
go first.
Jeff's
I don't know the
music is
exact.
such a wide range.
It's. Did you guys ever watch? Okay, so the song's called 96 Quite Bitter Beings.
Oh yeah, I love that song.
Yeah, it's by CKY. It used to
Yeah.
be in all the
Oh,
sort of Bam
okay.
Margera, Jackass movies.
Great song.
That song just makes me want to break things and throw stuff and like do Bam Margera shenanigans.
Well,
So
when
that's my song.
when I was
Nice.
living with Mason, a friend of Jeff and I, we would often wake up. We were both young bachelors at this time. We'd wake up, throw on Stranglehold by Ted Nugent on the record player, so it was real grainy and loud.
Oh, Mason's such a hipster.
Yeah, and
Record player.
what this pulls in full circle is we'd listen to this on repeat, pulling espresso shots until we were just so amped when we left for work or a bike ride.
Nice.
Hilarious.
I'm gonna go with either like a. You guys are gonna like make fun of me for this, but one of them I would go either like one of the spectrum, like some super heavy techno,
Okay.
or Slayer, Raining Blood.
I don't know. Neither of those are that.
You know, why make fun
I don't
of you?
know, just for the techno part.
But I want to know what
people
kind of
get
like
pumped up to,
techno, like are you into like
Almost
are into
deep house, hard house?
no, like some like almost like dark techno, like super heavy and like
dubstep.
no, more. It's like deep house,
All right.
kind of,
Hard
but like
house,
more like yeah.
big drops.
Only moments ago, we were going to have a bird podcast, and now we're going to have a podcast about different types of techno. That would be a funny podcast.
That would be great.
The name of it would just be called Different Types of Techno, and it would just analyze every different genre, subgenre, sub-subgenre, etc. of techno.
And we play a little sample of a song and we debate about it for like 15 minutes.
I would never listen to that.
Horrible podcast.
That sounds horrible.
It'd be horrible.
Oh, man.
Sorry to anyone who has that podcast.
All right. What's the best mountain bike event?
Ooh, gosh. So this could be like event that you go to or watch, I guess. Man, I love going to Sea Otter, but I love watching Rampage. I would love to go to a Rampage, but it seems like that's really hard to get a
Yeah,
ticket
it kind of
to go
seems
to.
like a mission. I've never been to one, but it does seem as if it's a mission.
I would like
Yeah.
to go to a Rampage. I heard you can't even like understand the scale until you see it in person.
Oh,
Yeah.
no way.
Like,
If anything looks, anyone who has ever filmed their mountain bike ride realizes that if something even remotely looks big on camera, it has to be utterly gargantuan in real life.
Yeah.
Because you film something and you're like, this is just the gnarliest rock garden or the biggest drop, and you watch it back on your GoPro and you're like, man, that looks like nothing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
It just, the camera never does justice.
I'm gonna toot my own horn a little bit. I love when I show people a video of me hitting crabapple for the first time. It looks big.
Yeah.
Like it's but like you said, it's rare to like film something that you do
Yeah.
as like, we're pretty average mountain bikers.
It has to
and
be
it looks big.
really big to
Yeah.
look big on camera. And Rampage looks monstrous on camera, and in real life, it's just got to be
And unreal.
speechless.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna go with my favorite and just say Downeyville because I think it's one of the most fun weekends you can have on a bike.
Nice.
Go fast, party, have fun.
You ever been,
culture.
Jeff?
I read this as sort of not to participate in, but to spectate, and I was thinking Crankworks and Whistler.
Oh, yeah.
So I've been to that a
Whistler-
bunch of times.
Crankworks is rad.
Yeah, Crankworks and Whistler is so cool because you get to see the whole Joyride, which is the crazy, unbelievable slopestyle competition, which is so cool to spectate and be there.
Yeah.
You get to also ride in Whistler. You get the nightlife of Whistler. Like, it's just amazing.
That's true.
So I love that one.
Well, if it was to spectate, I think I would go either a World Cup in France. Because that
That
look
does sound
wild.
like it's cool. World
Yeah.
Cups are cool, and I can't even imagine them in France. Yeah.
Like the world champs this year, they had to get three Frenchies at podium had to get hauled off by the police because the crowd was storming them.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, it's like like football is here, right?
Yeah.
So, or Crankworks in New Zealand because Kiwis like to party.
Yeah,
too.
that one also looks really cool.
Yeah.
And they actually speak English there, which would be helpful.
that too. Little easier to get around.
Logistically,
Everything's
yeah.
slightly more fun when you can speak your own language. I mean, obviously, everyone in France probably speaks English, but it's
Yeah.
just still easier. Yeah, I agree. It would be cool to go to.
Nice. Ooh, what a great question. What is hot and new and fresh and up and coming for Kettle?
There's too many ands in that.
That was me. I used every synonym in the book.
Hot and new and
Hot
fresh.
and new and fresh and up and coming.
and becoming. We've taken our widely loved vent pants, which people do ride bikes in, but they weren't made to be ridden mountain bikes in, which are just a super lightweight, ventilated summertime pant. We've made them into shorts, so I think that's going to be a big hit.
Stoked for
It's
those.
coming out soon.
Yep.
Some new
those.
colors in the Sun Hoodie, which is a ultra lightweight hooded long sleeve, which is amazing for being on long days in the sun. New colors in that, and
You're making that into a normal jersey without a hood.
oh yeah,
The
we
same
are.
material, I
Yeah,
should say.
yeah. You guys see a ton of the prototypes. I don't know when the heck that's going to show up. I don't know. We're constantly.
I thought that was this
it's-
summer. My bad.
It might be the summer. I don't even know. I should probably have researched this a little bit further. But we're trying to make it's a little bit of a challenge because with Kettle we want to have every garment be really specific in its use case and also very versatile, which inherently causes some overlap between other ones. And we don't want to have this massive catalog. You look at Patagonia's catalog or you name it, like they just
Get
have
lost.
so many things. You're like, what is any of this for? So we want to try and niche it down to say like, hey, the idea with Kettle is to have way less things that you can have in your closet. Each one of them does a lot more because it's a good technical fabric and thoughtful design. So I don't know. We're trying to do that balancing act. But yeah, we're making board shorts that'll come out this summer. Gotta have board shorts. Don't
Yeah,
have
I'm
that
stoked
right
for
now.
those actually.
So
Mountain
yeah.
bike short.
Yeah, like a mountain bike specific short that's got 2 zipper pockets on the side, no patch back pockets. Still has 2 back pockets, but they're not patches. So in case your tire buzzes your butt, doesn't rip off. So yeah, I don't know. We're constantly coming out with new stuff. If you ever want to know, just hit the Kettle Mountain website, ketlmtn.com, and then drop your email in the footer for the email list for new stuff.
I'm stoked on the board shorts though, the vent shorts as well, and the sun hoodie material, and just normal jersey, because all those things are great for summer, which is coming up. So
yeah, it's pretty fun to get to design our own stuff. I mean, we're experiencing the same thing with Trail One. It's like, man, we really want to design all of our own stuff exactly how we want it. And then it's really gratifying when you do that and you put a lot of attention into the detail and work, and then people get it and they're like, oh, I love this too. This is brilliant. Like, that's just really fun and gratifying. Like, one example is Jared, when we come out with the Trail One Hell's Gate grips, and Jared's like, oh, I don't like it's a little too thick for me. And then what? It was, you rode it for a while and you're like, oh wait, I love it.
Yeah, I'm guilty. Yeah, now I have them on my bikes. I mean, yeah.
But we have the Farlow Gap grips, which are unreleased, which are coming out. And when are those coming out? This summertime.
Well, no one said anything until now, so now we have to say something.
I just ruined the embargo. It's too bad it's not the iPhone 17 I just released. It's just a mountain bike grip.
I think we should be getting them like, what month is it? It's almost March. Probably, hopefully, end of April, mid-May.
Nice.
Yeah, that'd be ideal.
There's a lot of room in mountain bike grips in particular to come out with various different designs for people's preferences, right? Like Hell's Gate, it was something that was, I would call it a mid-thick, had enough cushion that it actually did something and helped the fatigue of your hands and arm pump and everything, but it wasn't, and because of that, it wasn't like a thin grip, right? And some people really like a thin grip. Jared was one of them.
I like them
Still
both.
is. You're
like
bad for both teams on that one?
I mean, I rode my bike today and I put the Hell's Gate ones on and I'm like, yeah, these are great. And,
yeah.
But yeah, my hands are it's just going to be a time to, take a little bit of time to get used to them. But like, I like them. I just,
Yeah, but then we designed a thinner grip for people who liked thinner grips.
I'd say this Farlow Gap's more like straight down the middle.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
widely accepted.
Yeah,
like those Ergon, GFR1 or like GD1, like those are like almost just
really
enough to like get around the bar,
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like Farlow Gap is a little bit thicker than
the
that.
Farlow Gap's more like the ODI Elite Pro in that range.
Nice.
Yeah, and I think the other thing too with grips and a lot of things, as your preferences change, as you evolve as a rider, you realize different things. I used to run really thin grips, and I loved that. And then as I started riding at more bike parks and longer downhills, or just bike trips, when you're on the bike for 4 or 5 days and just hammering onto your hands, you're like, wait, my hands are fatigued. I need a grip that has a little bit more cushion. And then I evolved to like, I was like, I don't really like how this feels. And then I was like, oh, I'll get used to the feeling and it'll help my hands. And I did. And I was like, now I stuck with those grips. So I don't know. It's cool to design products as, your thoughts evolve, and then design products for everyone in different spectrums. I don't know how this had anything to do with new Kettle clothes, but
tangent.
Yeah, you kind of, you made it work.
But yeah. Valuable,
Yeah. Speaking of which, is 27.5 going to die like 26 did? Whew. I think personally, 27.5 is going to have its own applications. Smaller size bikes.
That's what they said about 26, though.
I don't. It's a really hard question.
Gonna die like 26 did. I think it's gonna be more popular in the mullet configuration.
Yeah,
or mixed wheel, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Full 27.5 bikes probably will trickle off as far as like a wide offering. There'll still be those niche and stuff, and freeride bikes will stay 27.5. So I think there'll be a big market for kind of the park rat and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a hard question because I absolutely see the merit and the validity of a 27.5-inch wheel, and I enjoy it, and it has a different use case. But at the same time, if people aren't buying it, then brands will just stop making it. So like a lot of it rolls back to the economics. If it's economically unviable to make a 27-inch 5-wheeled bike, which it's not expensive, it's not cheap to design a mountain bike and do everything it needs to design it, build it, market it, etc. And if brands are doing that with 27.5-inch wheels and people just aren't interested and aren't buying them, then they're just there's no way they're going to continue doing that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And we're already seeing that. A lot of brands that used to have, let's say, 4 27.5 bikes and 4 29ers now have 6 29ers and 2 27.5 bikes. So like you're just like seeing this slow creep to like, oh, maybe it will just disappear.
What actually I see happening is Santa Cruz has fully done it now.
Yeah.
They do not
no
make
27.5
They
bikes?
do not
Nope.
make a
Wow.
bike with
I
a
didn't know
front 27.5 wheel.
Yeah, the 5010 was like the last one.
They
Where
have
they
the-
made it a mullet.
They have 5010, that's a mixed wheel. They have the
And
Bronson,
right?
that's a
Bronson's
mixed
also
wheel.
mixed wheel, Nomad.
And the V10's a mixed wheel. Oh yeah, and Nomad's mixed wheel.
Yeah. Just like, dude.
But no 27.5 front wheels stock. So
Seems like there's a serious opportunity for some consolidation in the Santa Cruz bike line. They have like different bikes. This one has a 27.5 rear wheel. This is a whole different model, just with a different back wheel. It's like, all right. I don't know.
yeah,
Maybe just have
but maybe there's something to be said about designing a bike around the rear wheel.
I guess so.
Kinematics, geometry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. I mean, we'll see if they keep doing that. You know, if people keep buying those mullet bikes versus the 29ers or vice versa.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of this stuff is, as much as people don't realize it, it's decided by the consumer. If the consumer doesn't buy something in the industry or any industry, then it just slowly fades away. And in a capitalistic society, businesses will cater towards designing, creating, and building products that consumers want to buy. And if they don't want to buy 27.5-inch wheel bikes anymore, then they will die. So,
Dang. Preach.
Yep.
all right, let's skip these next 2 questions because I think this last one is good.
Ooh.
I want to say my in and out order though.
Okay.
My in and out order. The question is, what's your in and out order? And mine is,
How many people don't even know what In-N-Out is? I guess everyone knows what In-N-Out is,
yeah.
but they just might not live
you
near
know,
one.
live here. So come to Cali, eat in and out. It's not actually that like great. It's just to travel here to eat it, but
Yeah.
it's
just
cool
like-
for road trips and like after post ride. It's easy.
Yeah. Best fast food.
Mine is double meat, grilled onions, add pickles,
Pretty simple.
and a fry.
They have pickles?
Yeah, and chopped chilies,
Oh, I knew about chopped chilies.
They
I didn't
have
know about
chopped
pickles.
chilies?
Yeah, chopped chilies on the burgers.
pepperoncinis. Yeah, really good.
All right, I'll go since you clearly need time to think about it. I'm going to go double, chopped chilies, and either grilled onions or whole grilled onion, which is where they basically take like a slice out of the onion.
I knew this was going to be an in-depth answer. Keep going.
Okay, so they basically take like a cross section out of the onion and they grill that and put it on top. And it's amazing. And then obviously some fries, animal style if I'm feeling crazy.
Oh, that's a gut bum.
Jeff.
When I see that question, all I think of is I literally am astonished at the brand In-N-Out has built. They have this
pretty excellent.
sort of
Yeah.
iconic, elusive, exclusive brand, and it's just this very basic retro fast food place. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I remember years ago, Greg Williamson, who's a pro downhill racer, he was over here when he was on Trek World Racing, and him and Nico were out in Santa Barbara doing all their testing, and they stayed in Newbury Park for a day, and he's like, oh, dude, can we go to In-N-Out? He's a Scottish guy. Never been.
That's amazing.
He's from Scotland, and he's in Southern California, and he's got to go to In-N-Out.
Yeah,
And I was like, what on God's green earth have they done that this Scottish mountain biker is over here? I'm not sure if it might have been his first time in the U.S. He's like, I gotta go to In-N-Out.
I get
It's
it.
crazy.
There's hype around it.
And I remember being at Amici's Pizza and eating lunch there, which is right across in the same parking lot, right? And then one in Newbury Park, and looking at In-N-Out, and there's at least a 40-minute drive-through line. And
Oh,
this is
every
This
day.
is a daily
Always.
thing.
Every
daily
day.
thing. 40-plus minute drive-through line. I'm at Michi's. There's like 2 empty tables
yeah.
at the same time.
Totally.
12:30 on
It's
a
like
weekday.
clockwork.
And I was just like, this is unbelievable.
Yep.
What they've done.
It's because they have not only strategically placed the locations like based on the freeway and high traffic areas, but yeah, they have a product that you can count on, like no matter the location.
Yeah.
And the exclusivity of it. It's like you can't just go to anywhere and you'll count that there's In-N-Out there.
well, they
like
only
a
have
McDonald's or whatever.
One in a town at most in a
Right.
city, right? Like they don't.
So the thing with In-N-Out to me though is it's crazy how much traction it has. But what I really want to try and understand is I want to try and dissect and attribute how much of that really, if we're being honest, is luck. and how much of it was intentional. How intentional was the executive board in and out of making, like, doing all these different things and all these different
extremely intentional.
extremely tech. Yeah, but you don't know. It's a privately held company.
Yeah.
It's all still in the family. Like, they're never public about that stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean,
Like,
and
were
how
they
intentional
really
can
this smart to do
Yeah.
this? Like, was this the master plan?
they are.
And how
I don't
intentional
know.
can
I
they
think it
be?
was just more luck. I think it was
They have-
more luck.
They have 4 menu items. How intentional can they be with 4 menu items and like 4
But they
secret
got
menu
the
items?
secret menu.
But there's only 4 items on that
Just
too.
modifications really to the
Yeah.
existing items.
That's why it might have been luck.
You know,
But I think that like, well, their quality based off the luck or where they put them, because I think they clearly have a superior product.
if you dissect it, you can tell that certain aspects of it were intentional, but
Yeah.
some of it I feel like is well.
You know what?
I feel like it was luck
is it worth the
to
hype?
some extent.
Not quite. I don't wait in a 40-minute line. I usually go there like after 8:30 when the lines died down.
yeah.
But what I do love is I'm pretty sure my order that I just said, double with grilled onions and pickles and a fry, is like $7.25.
Yeah.
It's unbeatable for the price.
Totally. And quality, like, dollar for dollar with quality and like
Yeah.
the freshness, like you got to give it to them.
All right, the in and out,
Yep.
the fast food podcast. All right,
That's why Jeff wanted
The
to
most
skip
in-depth
it.
question of the whole
the most
podcast.
in-depth question of the whole
Let's
podcast.
really dissect this
was
and break it down.
I actually didn't even answer it.
Yeah, you didn't. What the heck?
Well-
you got to say it.
Double with cheese. The whatever that pink lemonade they have there is
Oh.
delicious.
Yeah, it is.
Vanilla shake, so I can dip my fries in it.
Oh,
Nice. Okay,
And
so
that's
real quick, lemonade, if you ask for a lemon up, they
Yeah.
will give you 50-50 ratio of lemonade to 7-Up, and it's
really
incredibly refreshing.
It's the best, actually.
But tasty.
I don't do it for the sugar, but
No,
Yeah.
it is really good.
All right, let's finish this last question.
Last
I gotta go to
question.
In-N-Out.
Wrap
I'm
it up.
starving.
We gotta go
What
In-N-Out.
bike did Liam just get?
well, I tried to sell off and consolidate with a bunch of bikes this winter, and I tried not to get a trail bike, and I ended up needing one for trips and travel. So I hit up my boys at Revel, and I got a Rail 2.9 and building that sucker up.
Nice.
Yeah.
Insert applause sound effect right there.
The better question is, what bike of Liam's did I just crash into Jared? You could listen to the last podcast if you're curious about the answer to that.
Yeah, and watch the video
Yeah, that's
on YouTube.
Yeah, by the way, if you're watching this long, you can get our podcast everywhere. We would genuinely appreciate it if you left us a review, most importantly on Apple Podcast or the Spotify app. If you leave a review and screenshot it and send it to
podcast@worldwidecyclery.com.
that's an email address. Jared will give you a little surprise.
Ooh.
Surprise!
That might be a $15 off code for some cool stuff.
Surprise ruined.
All right.
We would appreciate it if you listen this long. If you also want to watch this on YouTube, we have the MTB Podcast YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube, type in MTB Podcast, and you can watch this, and you can troll Jared about his hand motions as
And
he's recording the podcast.
Please subscribe.
Like some people did.
yeah.
Yeah, and subscribe to that channel.
Hands up
Thank
here
you.
all
See you
day.
next time.
Love ya.